Welcome to I Didn't Know That, the show about things I didn't know. And we are at Nature's Embrace Soap Company with Heidi.
Hello.
Heidi, I've always wanted to know how you make soap.
Oh,
you know?
Well, awesome. You're just where you need to be.
You look at your bar of soap that you would buy at at the store, and most of the things you don't really know what that is on the ingredients list. So
Yeah.
And I've always wondered, what's the difference between your soap and their soap, and how you even come up with it? So let's take it away.
A lot of times when you're buying bar soaps at the store, you're getting a lot of fillers, a lot of additives, a lot of things that help them to dry sooner because they're mass produced, right? And here my soaps take 6 weeks to dry because they don't have all of those extra fillers and things. But what that also does is leaves a more moisturizing bar for the consumer as well.
Well, and I imagine those additives and fillers are probably not good for our skin.
Exactly, yes. So what I have done is in this bucket here, I have my lye water. So all of my soaps are made the old-fashioned way with caustic lye. And this water has been, when I mix the lye in with the room temperature water, it heats up to about 200 degrees. And so I do that outside where it's well ventilated, and then I leave it out there to sit for a while because I need those temperatures to come back down before I can mix them with my oils. So I've done the same thing with my oils, just the opposite. I had to heat them up because some of them were, solid form at room temperature. And then what I've done is make sure that both of these now are within about 10 degrees of each other. They have to be.
This is what?
This is my blend of oils. So
Okay.
This is a blend of olive oil, coconut oil. It's got hemp seed oil in it. That's what gives it that dark green color. It also has some sunflower, or rather sweet almond oil, and some castor oil in there.
Okay.
So a blend of oils that I have, like I said, all of my soaps are a little bit different, but I do come up with all of the recipes depending on what I want the soaps to do and such. So this is a body and hand bar. It's our Dirty Mint blend, very popular. So I'm gonna just start, this recipe has colloidal oats in it. So this is just a ground oatmeal that I'm gonna mix in with the oils first.
And what does the oatmeal do?
So the oatmeal is really good for sensitive skin. It helps to draw the moisture into the skin and hold it there from the bar. So a lot of times you'll hear things like oatmeal baths and things are good for sensitive skin and calming skin. So this bar has that in it.
And everything that you use is natural.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Everything, all of
Hence
my
the name.
oils, yep. All of the oils and butters that I use are all plant-based. So I mainly use, or my main oils are olive and coconut. And then I add in other ones depending on the recipe. So mango butter is one of my favorite things to use. Sweet almond oil is in many of my recipes. Most all have a little castor oil for reasons. And all of them are for a reason, like the coconut oil, I use a specific percentage because I want my bars to lather. And so you could have it with less coconut oil, but then it might not foam as well. So what I'm gonna do next is mix this lye water into my oils now slowly.
And you were saying that lye is really just hardwood ash?
Hardwood ashes is what originated, or how lye originated or was first found. Yep, I buy mine commercially from a company that makes it, but it is, it's an all natural product, even though it's very caustic, and obviously I have to wear protective gear to do this. So I'm gonna just slowly dump this in there. Always wanting to add the lye to the oils, never the opposite, or you could have a volcano effect. So, and then I'm simply gonna start my blending. To add my color in too. So I'm gonna add a little green and black to this. This is a green mica powder, and then activated charcoal is what I'm using for the black. What I'm just doing here is getting everything kind of to emulsify to start. Every single soap that I make is different depending on the oils that I'm using and the essential oils and the additives. Some of them set up really fast and I have just a few moments right now to get it to the mold, and others give me all the time in the world. And I know that this one gives me lots of time, so that's why I picked it. But it does make a difference. If I'm using spicier oils like cinnamons and clove and things, that will really speed up my process and start to heat up. So what's already happening as I'm mixing these together is they're gonna start a chemical reaction. It's called saponification, but once it starts in the molds, this is gonna start to heat up even more. So when I mixed them together just now, they were equally about 100 degrees. But once I get them into the molds, they are going to, and you'll see when we get there, I'm gonna cover them and hold that heat in so that it can do what it needs to do overnight. So right now what I'm just doing is I'm watching the consistency of this because I want it to come to what we call trace. And that just simply means that when I drag my stick blender through it like this, it's leaving a trail behind it. And that's my indication that it is completely emulsified and it's ready to start moving to the molds.
And then do you add this stuff? Oh,
yep,
nope,
I'm
here
gonna
you
add
go.
it to it, yes. So I just want to make sure everything else is added. And that's what I was talking about with, this is my essential oil blend now. This is patchouli, spearmint, and peppermint essential oils. And these ones, like I said, they behave pretty nicely for me, so I know that this isn't going to set up fast. But sometimes I have to hustle in this moment. So and we'll mix the poppy seeds in right away as well. This is starting, you can see, to get a little bit thicker now, kind of on the top there, how we're starting to get this little bit of a, I kind of always say like maybe a consistency of gravy, just a little bit thicker, but this is getting pretty close here. So I'm gonna pour this. These are my 5 molds. So this is 20 pounds of soap, and it's gonna yield 56 bars when I come back to cut it next week. So 14 bars per mold is what I get.
And the poppy seed, is that for a purpose or just looks?
Well, to be honest, at first it was just for looks, to be part of the color scheme, but then it's just so popular. People really like it for exfoliating. It's just a gentle exfoliator. So I keep it in there. Tonight we'll leave this covered so that it can go through that chemical process that we talked about called saponification. And then tomorrow when I come in, I'll be able to take it out of the molds. And I actually have some soaps here from last week that we can take a peek at what they look like tomorrow. So this is really technical. I use a spoon to do this. But I finish off all of my tops in some way, and this one just gets drawn to the center. So I literally just pull the sides in. And then go down the center.
And then you said you cover it?
So yeah, so I have these, BTD Manufacturing was here at the beginning of last year for a little thing sort of like this, and they saw my need for covers, and so they went back and manufactured me these covers. And so I put these big heavy covers on to hold that heat in. So like I said, it was about 100 degrees when we mixed them together, but in the next hour or two, it's gonna heat up to about 200 degrees. It's gonna gel through the center. It looks like this, it gets very dark and like it's called the gel phase, and then it will just slowly cool down overnight, and then tomorrow when I come in they look like this. So these are some that I just poured on Saturday, and they're all hardened, right?
Can I touch it?
Yep, you absolutely can. So those ones, they have little red hearts down in the center of them for Valentine's Day. And then after they come out of the mold, this is what they look like. So these were poured last week, and this morning I took them out of the molds then and trimmed them up on the edges, and then this is our cutter. We're going to cut them into 14 bars, as I mentioned.
Now, is this a specific soap cutter? Okay.
This is, yep, I bought this from a company, a soap supply company.
Okay.
So just like that. We get 2 little ends from each one. And I just save those every couple months. We have soap end bundles for people.
Okay.
That's just a variety of the soaps. Oops. If they want to try a handful of our soaps.
Very cool.
Yeah, so once I cut them and put them here for a bit, which I've done with these, then we just come back with our logo stamp, and each and every bar gets our logo tapped, there we go, right in the top of the bar.
Very
From
neat.
there, they go to the cure room back here for 6 weeks, and we keep track of all of that in our computer system. It tells us when the bars are coming due. And then my assistant, she polishes every single bar by hand after they come from there because they have these rough edges and things, right? So she takes a rag there and just rubs off the edges a little bit so they're nice and clean for you guys, and then we get them in the store.
And then these are kind of ones that are ready to roll?
Yeah, so this area here is all of inventory, what's ready and in inventory right now. Another one with poppy seeds. I promise they don't all have poppy seeds.
I bet that's a good exfoliant, though.
Yes, people do like it. So yeah.
Awesome. And how many different soaps do you have?
So right now I must have about 24 or so when I include my shave pucks. But I have, most of a good majority of the soaps are here all of the time. Like Dirty Mint is one that I carry in stock all of the time. But I come out with 3 new ones every month. So each and every month on the beginning of the month, there is a new one that's usually a little bit whimsical. Like this month is a snowman inspired theme, and one that's usually scented a little bit like Christmassy, or depending on the season, right? This month is a little bit more of a sleepy time hibernation blend because we're in January. So yeah, so every month I come out with 3 new soaps as well. And then sometimes if they're popular enough, if people love them or rave about them, then we keep them around forever, but that doesn't happen too often. So.
Okay, well, that's great. And then I saw you had bath bombs too, or?
Well, lots of different. I don't make the other products in the store, but the store has many other bath and body products that complement the soap. So.
And tell everybody where you're located.
1208 Rossman Avenue. We're right next to Schiller's house, across from Rossman School. Yeah, just a cute little shop. You can stop in and get all of your bath and body experience, and everything's all natural and made by other makers. So.
Excellent. No, I think natural is the way to go. When you look at that ingredients list and you can't pronounce the things that are in it,
Yes.
And I think a lot of it actually does dry your skin out, like you were kind of saying. And
yes.
So yeah, make sure you stop by. Heidi, thank you for showing us what you do. It's so fascinating, and you just don't understand how much work goes into something as kind of, I want to say, simple as soap.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
So
absolutely.
Thank you for being on the show.
Guys. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. I didn't know that. I hope you guys learned something. I know I did, and that's the whole point of the show. So thanks for watching.